Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
So apparently, Christy, there are people, and I can only say this in a delicate way, impersonating the police for fundraising. Is that what's going on?
So, it's a technical loophole, and I've always known about them. I've never seen it like this. I say that a lot about financial stuff, and we are unfortunately a target when it comes to our biggest crime that happens in the village is financial identity stuff. So that's scams, people, mail, internet, email, even calls, cold calls, calling on the phone. So that's going to be where our residents lose out and become victims. It's very predominant here. And I go when I speak, and I do these speaks all over, and I tell them, please stop giving your money to people because it doesn't go anywhere. And there's not a whole lot that law enforcement can do about it because a lot of times these people are over in a bunker somewhere underground in another country. So it's just unable to track that down and for prosecution. But what we do have is we've got this last week, I've had 6 different people bring me in 6 different mailings with Hot Springs Village Police Department needs your support. And that was a red flag for me because number one, somebody already sent some money. And number two, 6 different ones. It wasn't just one company. They were all 6 different companies. And what it is it's these individuals that build this organization. They do the legal thing by registering it and doing all the paperwork they need to have it as a documented organization. And then what they do is they use the local law enforcement name saying that's who you're supporting when that is in fact not happening. So it's technically I call it a scam. It is, but legality wise, it's not. It is a documented organization with all of their paperwork in place, and they give a very small portion to law enforcement. Now, I've never seen anybody come in these companies and say, hey, what do you need? We'll pay for it. Doesn't happen like that. No. So every one of these had different sayings. This was support law enforcement, families that are in need of assistance, or because of the current climate, we want you to support law enforcement. Give us $100, $50, and we can continue to support our Hot Springs Village Police Department. We don't authorize that. They don't ask us about it. And they dang sure don't call us and say, how much money do you need? Here it is. So and if you look, I put out some websites you can look and you can see what portion of their money is actually donated to what agencies. Really? We're not on any of those lists. I didn't see any local law enforcement area on any of those lists.
Is it technically a nonprofit, or is it just a corporation that says we're going to give some money?
corporation, nonprofit, there's a variety of them.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry, the crime, it's not Crime Watch. I put the two websites in there, and Better Business Bureau. You can run those names in there and they can tell you when they were incorporated, how much money of the overhead, what percentage goes to actual donations, and how much goes in their pocket. So
Really.
I'm not saying all 6 of those that I looked at are go to great things. They might. I didn't see anything. I did look
But
each and every one of them up.
the key is nobody's contacted you from those 6 organizations and said, hey, we've collected some money. Here's your check.
No. And it angers me because they put Hot Springs Village Police on there, need your help. Hot Springs Village Police is asking for your support. Hot Springs Village Police Department has families that need assistance. Well, is what they're doing is they're taking advantage of our extreme support we have for law enforcement. And I say that because it's not just us. I mean, you have Saline County, Garland County, Hot Springs. They're all exceptional law enforcement agencies, and they're here around here. These officers live in this village. The counties are here in this village. So, I take offense to that whenever you say you're supporting us and then you don't. So, in all those agencies or those organizations that I looked up, I didn't see any donated to Saline, Garland. I didn't see any of that. So I feel like they're in the same boat as we are. I'm sure that their residents are getting these same types of mailings. The best thing to do is throw it in the trash.
Well, and I'm not an attorney, but I'm pretty sure that if I tell you I'm going to do one thing with money and I don't, that's called fraud. I'm pretty sure. I'm not an attorney, right?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, they get away with it by doing the legality part of maybe giving, a very 1-2% to whatever they choose, I guess.
Yeah.
But
but they use your name and then you don't benefit anything. And the problem here, and we talked about this on another show, is that there's such deep support for the community, for the police and the community. They're literally violating that trust and going, hey, we know you think great things about your police department. We're not running these in New York and Chicago. We're not sending, hey, Chicago police need your help. No, we're not mailing to those areas. We mail to the flyover areas where they really support their police, so that we can extract more funds from you on dubious accounts.
It's very sad. And, I think for number one, always remember, you're never going to have a Hot Springs Village Police Department officer or any of our employees, civilian or officers, ever ask for your money. Never. It's never going to happen. Now, our CPA, that is a 501, that is a local organization. They do a lot of work to raise money to provide us things. For example, new uniforms.
Whoa. Let me slow you down just a sec.
Okay.
CPA in my world stands for Certified Public Accountant because I'm married to one.
Oh,
but in your world, I think you're talking about the Citizens Police Academy.
The Citizens Police Academy, and Citizens Police Academy is a national organization, kind of, but you have all of your own alumni associations, and that's what we have here. And I think there's like 190 members here, and they work so hard. They do the turkey fundraiser, they do the golf course or the golf tournament, and they ask, "What do you need? What do you need? What do you need?" And I just gave them a list. I told them we need some new radars, and we need a new camera for our CID, and that's like, okay, so that's what we're going to work for to get you guys, and that's incredible. If we have a officer that is needing something or a family situation, we internally have a Hot Springs Village Police Association. And that is where each officer and our dispatchers, they give a certain amount of money. It's like $5 a paycheck. And if we have a situation to where an officer's family member passes away, we can send flowers. Or if we've got an officer that's going through something specific, that as the association, we can vote to help them out with whatever hardship they're having. And that's completely separate. That is completely separate from the CPA. The CPA works really hard to provide us equipment and safety things that we need at this agency. Our police association is an internal thing that we can do to take care of our family, because that's what we are. We're all a big family here. But you will never find a police officer or civilian asking for money for those organizations. We're not going to do that. Now, we can assist with a fundraiser. We're out there cooking turkeys and delivering them. That's fine. We'll help. Yeah. You're never going to see an officer ask you for money, ever. You should not.
Well, let me make an addendum to what you said. If you get this letter in the mail, you throw it in the trash. That's yours. I know. I would say that you hold it in your hand and you call 501-922-0011 and you say, these people are trying to extort money from me on fraudulent accounts. How can I really help?
Sure.
Can
Yes.
I talk to the CPA? Can anybody donate to the police association that you were talking about?
Yeah, they can, but I mean, that's not something that, again, we don't solicit for. That's just something
Right.
that we do.
Right.
Yeah, anybody could, but the CPA, and then there's other organizations, COPS, the COPS organization, concerns of police survivors. They have local chapters here, and that's a great organization that helps support families of fallen officers in our area. And unfortunately, we had one not too long ago with Brent Scrimshire.
Yeah.
So I mean, those organizations are amazing, and they do provide local assistance. And we can walk you through that. Like if you say, "Hey, I've got $100, I'm going to send it to here, but where else can I send it?" I'll sit down and give you all different options that there are. The Arkansas Sheriff's Association, the Arkansas Chiefs of Police Associations, they do grants and assistance for body armor and things like that, because those things are so expensive. So I'm not going to try to take all your money here, because I know that we're all a big family, and there's so many law enforcement officers all around the state and all of our local area that I'll give you choices. You make your own educated choice. I hate to see your money thrown away, because I don't know where it goes.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem. As I'm hearing this in my mind, Officer Scrimshire, we talked about a minute ago. You mentioned the police officer in Hot Springs that was unfortunately killed, murdered, shot, whatever. I kind of go through part of this in my head, and my wife's a CPA. I'm a tech guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting on clothes, new deodorant, leaving, brushing my teeth, going to work, and thinking, okay, I'm risking my life today. I don't remember doing that. I don't believe my lovely wife does that. You've heard me do before. We have a Take 5 session. I even did a radio show about it. You couldn't pay me. And I think for those of us that sincerely appreciate people doing a job that you couldn't pay us to do, we'd like to make sure you have up-to-date cameras and updated radar. I'm thinking about that radar, though. That may come back on me, because I know how I drive, and that may not.
Well, and those are just things that you need to have to do your job. We're not out here trying to write everybody a ticket. I don't, that's just a waste of time, but we use it for behavior modification. The speed limits, everybody wants to complain about the speed limits, but I'm going to tell you what, it is very difficult to go more than 45 miles an hour here anywhere in the village on a straight stretch. There's like 3. That isn't a dangerous situation. And and even if it is a straight stretch, if you look to your right about 4 feet, there's a 400-foot drop off. So it's like, we don't set these speed limits to try to make money off of you with tickets. We set them to keep you safe, and we're trying to enforce behavior modification so you get home to your family.
Well, and let's be frank. I pulled up, I had an instance at one of my rentals that I needed to talk to an officer about. I pulled up to the gentleman that was sitting on Bel Eric down by the fire station. Okay. And he's sitting there in plain sight, and I pulled up, and I always know when you pull up to a police officer and they're doing something else, I'm always like, just need to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
Not approaching anyway.
They're used to it.
And he was super cool. And I said, I bet if you wanted to write tickets, you could write endless tickets. He said, oh, he said, it's nonstop. I said, so you have your vehicle positioned to say, hey, just slow down.
That's right. Because what you see, as soon as, no matter, and I'm human, I do the same thing. That straight stretch on Bel Eric, that'll get you, because you just don't get you going down a hill. You're going down a hill, and as soon as you hit that hill and you're just letting it off the gas and you just hit it, I mean, you see that officer, you're like, I need to control my speed when I'm going down there and pay attention, because there's so many different intersections coming out right there. And it's hard to see, because we have all of this beautiful landscaping and trees and deers, lots of deers.
and deer. No, and you touched on what I was going to say. One of the things people go, well, this ought to be 55 all the way through. It's all about the access roads coming on. I mean, these people so I was telling Diane, we live on Sierra. We're on the west end of Sierra, and we were getting ready to pull out on DeSoto. And I said, I can tell you when it's after May 31st, and I can tell you when it's after September 15th.
Right.
How do you know? I said, because I have to wait several cars sometimes to pull out. The rest of the year, I don't have to do that.
I don't know. I'm over at Alicante. I come out on Alicante on DeSoto. So you're right here. Yeah. And then I'm blocks over. And I mean, I'm telling you, it seems like in the morning, it's a few minutes before the traffic slows down. It's a lot of traffic. And if you're going fast around those corners and you try to, even if you try to pull out at a reasonable speed, if someone's coming really fast around those corners, you're done. It's over with.
Yeah. Well, and so everybody, if we were to make it 55 for everybody all the way through here, number one, the road's not rated for that. Number two, it was never engineered for that. But number three, every car would have to be able to go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds to get out in front of whoever you're getting out in front of, right?
Yep, it's not going to happen.
And I know how you drive, and that 0 to 60 wouldn't bother you, but
no, it would bother me because let me tell you something. I've had to readjust my whole entire driving here, because in Texarkana everything's flat and it's flat and you can see forever. So it's a long ways off. It's a long ways off. I mean, in the city, it's more populated and dense. And that's why you can't go over 30 anywhere in the city, because of the population. So they're there for a reason. And I think the behavior modification is it. You see an officer, slow down. I know I was coming in, I was sitting at a different intersection in a different car and the officer didn't see me, but the person was coming in and he was going a little too fast. And I noticed it. The officer flashed his lights at him. I was like, well, that was nice of him, just remind him. So, that's what we have. We have great guys here. They're not trying to upset you and write a ticket. It happens, I mean, if he's had to pull you over 3 or 4 times for behavior modification, you're obviously not getting it. So
it ain't modified yet.
Unfortunately, that ticket sometimes does it.
It will modify you, I'm pretty sure. No, I actually was going through. I was going through the area beside Ponce and DeSoto. There are Remax and all that area. And I thought I was bebopping along. I'd slowed down. I must have at least been below 40, 35-ish. And as I came up and met him and he flashed his lights at me, I looked down at my speed and I thought, good point. Yeah. Good point. I need to bring. Okay, and let's discuss one last thing, and this is not a popular topic, but I want to bring it up. Why can we only go 35 in front of the pickleball? We just answered the question a minute ago, but tell us again, for those people in the back, Christy.
For the people in the back, 35 on DeSoto. I'm sorry, 30 over off DeSoto when it changes. Number one, you're coming off of a hill. And when you're coming off of a hill, if you get your speed up, you're not going to be able to properly and timely brake for someone pulling out onto DeSoto. That's highly populated over there. I mean, if you go by on the weekends, there's cars out to the road. So it's very difficult for people to get out onto DeSoto at a reasonable speed. If someone's flying coming in, they're not going to be able to do that or stop in time. So that's what that is there for. I know you don't like it. And
it's not going to change, right?
No.
I didn't think so.
All you got to do is go down West Valina or Barcelona and go right around it.
Go any of the other ways you want.
Right. There's so many different options there.
Christy, as always, it's a delight to have you with us. Thank you for visiting with us again.
Yes, I loved it. And thank you again. I hope you guys have a happy holiday.
We're going to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, Dennis Simpson, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.